Hi, this is Alan Gassman, and I'm here to show you how all these buttons work on EstateView. EstateView is an estate planning program that shows people how the estate tax system works and what numbers apply for various strategies. If you've been using one of the popular software programs that's prevalent in our industry, you can know that EstateView will do, in general, what they do, but also much more. So you're looking here at the opening EstateView panel, and you put the word estateview.link in your browser, as you see on the top left-hand side. Click on that, and EstateView will come up, or it may ask you for an email address and password. It's free until April 1st. You can just click the Get Started button. If it asks for an email address, you can use test@test.com, password TEST. But for most people, it opens right up. It works on iPads, it works on regular computers, it works on Apple computers. It will even work to some extent on your phone if you have a magnifying glass. Now, there are two main modules for EstateView. There's the comprehensive plans for a single person or a married individual, and then there are the calculators. And very quickly, the married client module shows you inputs on the left and all the information that you would typically want to put in for a married couple and the strategies that they will use. And then on the right-hand side, you have the strategies themselves. In the middle, you've got a view of what happens with each strategy. For example, they both die this year, there's a tax. If they both die this year with all the planning techniques, there's no tax. If they die in 21 years, there's a big tax. But with a credit shelter trust, it goes lower. With a qualified personal residence trust, it's lower. With annual gifting, it's lower. With discounted annual gifting, it's lower, etc., etc. Now, in other videos, we show you how to use EstateView for estate tax planning and illustration. Right now, I'm showing you a trust logistics mode. You see the picture of the trust logistics. I click on timeline, and it shows you over time how much estate tax would be due and how much each category of asset or trust has. If I click details, it gives you a lot of the details behind the calculations there. And if I click on annual amounts, it allows you to go and check and see how each item, for example, how the annual gift tax exclusion was calculated each year with the impact of inflation. Or I could say what happened to the life insurance, and it would show me. So those are the basic displays. Now, the inputs are on the left-hand side, and it's pretty easy just to go down and input them. One thing I'll show you is you can toggle up and down. So it starts at a number, and you can change it just by toggling up and down. Or if you want to type a number in, you could just type in 10 million, or I can type in 10M and hit return, and it goes to 10 million. Now, I can also click on these four arrows on the top left, and it makes the input very big. So if I just want to concentrate on getting my inputs in, then I can put them in. This allows me to check the boxes for the strategies that I want to show the client. Here I can just put in my firm name and my name. And then here, of course, the client name, dates of birth. I think you'll find the inputs to be pretty simple to understand. Now, if I want an insurance estimate, how much will life insurance cost for these clients? I click for life insurance estimate, and then it knows the age and the sex from my other inputs, and it tells me per million what a standard or preferred person might pay for 10-year, 20-year, or longer term life insurance, or a lifetime universal policy that would be paid in equal premiums each year for life. We don't try to sell life insurance, but it's good to be able to know what it might cost. It also allows you to determine what the increase in the annual exclusion will be, and it even gives you a history of chained inflation if you want to see that history. So the inputs are fairly intuitive, and the other videos that we're producing will show you how to use the inputs for the estate tax planning part of it. I can also click across the top here if I want to go straight to the Cupid input. I just click right there, and there it is. Now to make this the normal size, I just click again on that little red cross type thing. So in other words, the open arrows I click on to make it big, and then that little red cross sign to the left of the X I click on to move it back to the left, and I can land my cursor here and move this back and forth, and I can land my cursor here and move that back and forth. When I start a new illustration, I click on File, and then I can click on New, and it will start a new illustration from scratch using the normal inputs. But once I've made my changes and I want to save those changes, whatever they are, I click on File, Save As, and then I can put in a file name, Jones Party, click Save, and now it is on my computer, and there's also a Word document that summarizes the data for saving. If I want to take a screenshot to remember this exact thing that I see here, I click Save Screenshot, and now there's a screenshot saved of the exact diagnostic view there. So whatever's showing in the middle, I just click File, Save Screenshot, and that is saved for me. In addition, I can share this with the client. I can share the software and the inputs now in place with the client. I click Share with Client. It gives me a code number, and I can change the code number. I click Generate URL, click Copy to Clipboard. Now I can send them an email, hit Paste, and this code will go in the email, and they'll have 12 days to use the software at no charge if you have the advanced version. I can also generate a PowerPoint for all of the strategies that I've checked. So, for example, I can go here and say I'm going to do bypass trust, I'm going to do gifting, I'm going to do these things that are checked there. And now I click on Generate PowerPoint, and I wait. It is now creating a PowerPoint of all of these illustrations. So in not much time at all, I have my PowerPoint. It goes to the top right-hand side if you're using Google Chrome, and I click on the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint just opened on a separate screen. I'll drag it here to share it with you. And now here's your PowerPoint. I can enable editing. I can, as you know, click slideshow from the beginning. And now I've got a PowerPoint of each of the illustrations for each of the strategies that I chose. Then I can go ahead and move this PowerPoint out of the way and go back to what I was doing. I can also click Generate Client Letter. When I click Generate Client Letter, I can choose whatever scenarios I want to show and whatever illustrations I want to show, and I simply click Generate Client Letter. At this time, the computer starts talking,
I am now preparing the letter
and
for
I can
Bob
click
Sample
the
and Mary
red
Sample. Their
bottom
total investment
left
assets are worth
box in order to stop it from talking. Now, when it's done, I have a letter. It's a Word document. I can click on it, open it, and I can move it into your view here. I can enable editing, and it is a Word document, as I said. It describes the estate tax system. It describes all your inputs, and it describes each strategy and shows the numbers and the illustration for that strategy. Then if I want to change anything, I can change it and run another letter, and I can show the client the 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 letters, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 PowerPoint decks that explain the planning strategy. And of course, it's a Word document, so I can alter it in any way I want. Now, on the left-hand side, if I want to hide the input, I can just click Show Hide Options. It goes away. Click it again, it comes back. On the right-hand side, I can click to get rid of the scenarios. So if I wanted to only show this in the middle, I could. In addition, we have a Help button here, which enables me to look up the applicable federal rate. I can click there and get the latest applicable federal rate, as well as the history back to January 2022. And also I can go for video tutorials that we're working on, and something that's called EstateView Help, which is a help document that will become much more detailed as we build on it. So I just lost EstateView because I accidentally turned it off. So the good news is, when you lose EstateView, you just go right back and type in EstateView in your browser. It comes right back up, and it remembers exactly where you were, so you don't have to restart. So when you click Humor, you may get a poem, you may get a video, you may get something else. Hopefully it will be funny. So I'm going to go to the Qualified Personal Residence Trust Calculator, and I'm going to delete what I had there before. I'm going to say go File, New, start a new calculation, and this tells me across the left, in this simple mode, which we call Swift Plan mode, that the 75/20 rate is 5.2%. I can do a 1 life or 2 life QPERT. The grantor can be whatever age I select. I need to use the nearest birthday, so I can put the date of birth in the calendar. And if it's a 2 life QPERT, I can put the date of birth for the second. I can do the same thing for the second person. Let's stick with 1 life here, which is what we normally do. Then the term of the QPERT, and then the value of the home. So as you can see, that's pretty simple. Across the top, you've got your inputs, and in green, you've got your outputs, including the amount of the gift and how much the annual annuity would be if you move out of the house during the Cupert term. Now I can click on duplicate and show a second one. I could change the whatever I want to change, and then I could highlight by clicking on these cells. I can highlight what's different and what results are different as a result of that simply by clicking on the cells, as you will see when you play with it yourself. So this is what most of the competitive programs do, but we can do a lot more. So we'll click on standard mode, and now you see the same information in blue across the top and in green, but we've added the features that you get when you have the professional model of this, including the total estate tax savings based upon the scenarios. So you have across the top your summary for each of the 2 Cuperts. And by the way, I could do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Cuperts, as many Cuperts as I want, all with different scenarios. I can just create them by hitting the word duplicate and then change whatever factors I want to change. And I can delete a Cupert simply by clicking the delete button. Also, I can alter what columns I have here. In yellow are the columns that we typically recommend using, but you can have as many columns as you like. You could click all of these, and then you're going to have much more data across the top. It all will make good sense from a logic standpoint. In addition, outside of the simple mode, and the mode you're in now, you will always see a spreadsheet across the bottom. Now I can click on those 2 horizontal lines there and raise the spreadsheet so I have a better view of the spreadsheet. And there's 2 spreadsheets, because remember I did 2 Cuperts, so there's spreadsheet number 1, spreadsheet number 2. The year of death is pink below. The end of the Cupert term is in yellow. The estate tax savings is in yellow. As with the summary, I can click on alter detail columns below, and then I have all these columns I can use, or I don't have to use all the columns. I could use more or less of these columns. So then on my spreadsheet, I could show only every other year, or every 3rd year, or every 4th year, but it will also show the key years when you do that. I can click fit width on the bottom right-hand side, and the spreadsheet will fit width-wise, and I can scroll up and down, or I can fit the whole thing, including all of the years. Now, I can also export the spreadsheet to Excel. I click on Export to Excel, and there is the Excel spreadsheet. And then I can do whatever I want with that Excel spreadsheet, including further customization if there's anything you want to do that EstateView doesn't do, which there's fewer and fewer things that you would want to do that EstateView doesn't do, because it does a lot of things. So now that I've decided that I want to show the client Cupert 1 and Cupert 2, I can click on Generate Explanation. I can choose to show a general explanation, a short explanation, a planner's checklist, and a PowerPoint deck. I can click on Submit, and all of these documents are instantly created. My Cupert explanation is right there, and then my PowerPoint deck is here. The PowerPoint opens up for my Cupert, and the PowerPoint enables me to show the client the exact numbers, the chances of survival, the reportable gift, what happens at each stage, the value after the end of the term, and the spreadsheet. And then talks more about the ability to do double Cuperts if the client might be interested in doing double Cuperts. So let's see if I've told you all the buttons here. So you have File, and you can save it so that you can come back to it later by clicking Save As. I can save a screenshot. I can do the general explanation button, which I showed you. I can put the client's name on it as part of that. I can share with the client in the same way I showed you. I can go get some help, and I can go to the other calculators. There's a couple other things. The camera. When you see the camera, if I want to take a picture just of the Cupert summaries, I click that camera, and there is a picture of the Cupert summary part of it. If I just want to take a picture of the Cupert details, there's a camera there, and I take a picture of the Cupert details. So I can show that to you if you would like to see it. There it is. So also, if I want to close the top to give myself more room for the spreadsheet, I click that eye, you close the eye, and now the top is gone, so the spreadsheet has a little bit of room. We commonly use a very large screen. You can see there how large that screen is. That's a really nice screen to have in a conference room so you can show the client live what's going on. But wait, there's more. There are timelines and charts. So when I click on timelines and charts, one shows me for each of the Cuperts the portion of the gift that will end up avoiding estate tax, but the probability of death during the term. And then if I change the age, you see the circles moving. So that's then probability of survival of the term, then property interest value over time as it grows, the rent paid for each Cupert, and the assets subject to estate tax for each of the Cuperts that I am showing. So those are all the buttons relating to the Cupert. Let me show you another one, and this helps you get a good idea of how you go ahead and find these options. So I'm going to talk now about a large gift. I will click File New to start over, and this starts off with a 70-year-old who will die at age 85, 25 million of investments, makes a year one gift, which saves 492,000 of estate taxes. So now I can go and show a second gift, and let's say that it's a $6 million gift. It saves 6 times as much in estate tax. So that's my quick mode. And now I'll go to the regular mode. And when I'm in the regular mode, by the way, when you go from quick to regular, the inputs you've added are shown as blue ribbons there. These are the inputs that I didn't have under the first view. And then if I go to advanced, I have purple ribbons that I wouldn't have had in the normal. So when I use this, I normally just click right to advanced. But if you click on standard, what you don't have appears when you click on advanced. But in any event, for the large gift summary, you can go down. Each item is logical. And the spreadsheet now shows me that I've got a portability allowance here of 2.5 million before planning, core exemption 6.805 million, temporary exemption 6.805 million. So as I toggle up my gift, you can see that the portability allowance goes first, then the core exemption, then the temporary exemption, and then the core exemption. But of course, the client would like to better understand this. So what I can do is I can show them the two different alternatives. Here's trust number one, gift number one, and make that fit here, and shows you before and after planning with gift number one. And then with gift number two, it shows me before and after planning with gift number two. To make things fit, on the bottom left-hand side, I hit fit all, or I hit fit with. Sometimes I may have to hit the minus and plus button. When I click on timelines and charts, and on timeline, this is one of my favorites. This shows you that with gift number one, by gifting $10 million, the blue is the $10 million trust, the green is the assets left, and the red is the estate tax. But as I click up and gift more, I'm able to avoid more estate tax. I'm also able to split the gift. So lots of things that you can do. You just basically click on each button and it will show you what it is going to show you. And then same thing, if I want a general explanation, I want a PowerPoint presentation, click on submit, and voila, my PowerPoint should come up. There it is. It took a little while on that one. The PowerPoints are in various stages of design, but almost all of them have a PowerPoint, and at least you get the inputs and the picture and the spreadsheet. Under construction, these items we expect to have open by April 1st, but right now, if you want to see what it's going to do, for example, life insurance policy organizer, this gives me a picture of it, and I can also click on the download Excel spreadsheet, and that will show you what the product will do. And this particular calculator will allow you to put in all of the client's life insurance information, and then it will add up the total cash value, death benefit by person, and then nudge you as far as, hey, there's a convertibility options here, there's policy loans, there's crummy withdrawal powers going on, consider putting them in a life insurance trust. But the main point I'm trying to make here is that if you see a calculator under construction and you want to know what it's for, you can click on it and figure that out. So that is my tour of the buttons for EstateView. I hope that this was helpful and appreciate any questions, comments, and suggestions. It was Albert Einstein that said, make things as simple as possible, but not too simple. And I don't know what our grade is on this, but at least for most people, it is passing. Have a great day, and thanks for any comments, questions, or suggestions you might have. My email address is agassman, that's A-G-A-S-S-M-A-N, at gassmanpa.com. By the way, our pricing information, if you go and Google EstateView info, let's see if it works for me, EstateView info, Oops, how about estateview.info? Then the EstateView info comes up, and then you'll find our pricing information at the very bottom. So the simplified version, $199 a year, gives you what those other calculators do, plus a lot of what the married couple and single person calculators that I just showed you do, but not everything. $400 a year will get you just about everything you saw. $500 a year will also provide you with those automatic letters and the advanced settings. And anyone who lets us know that they want to start before April 1st can get special guaranteed pricing. So, and if you're a bulk user, we have a bulk user discount that can really save quite a bit of money. The main thing is, though, we hope that you'll use this to educate your people on estate tax and estate planning, educate yourself, get a better feel for what these strategies can do, and explain it to your clients, saving a lot of time and money. Thank you very much. Have a great day.